Giving your sovereignty to decentralized controllers creates a group of people who generally grow rich at the expense of everyone else, or the expenses they accrue for control is money that is stolen from you and those not at the trough.
Minimalist living, mindfulness, anti-aging. You're just a long-haired hippie. Yep.
Politicians and centralized thinking are forever creating new fears. Why? The more they convince you that you need them, the more the imaginary fears become real. To a scared populace, believing solving these imaginary fears then becomes necessary. Soon there is a law for every problem or fear, as centralized power creates its own ever-increasing circle of hangers-on and restrictions. The more the imaginary fears become real to a populace, believing solving these imaginary fears then becomes necessary. Soon there is a law for every problem or fear, as centralized power creates its own ever-increasing circle of hangers-on and restrictions. The fear propagated by these controllers lead to manifestations of control. This goes unnoticed until you try to change their restrictions. Try to set up a baking store at a market without the correct license. Try to make your own decisions on using vaccinations without being penalised. Community, as opposed to centralization, is a standard of understanding the right way of living with your neighbour. Centralization is cooperation with your neighbour because of law and punishment. Lack of community stifles sharing, caring and compassion. The fear that is created through centralization is that you can't believe in other people to do the right thing. Is it a wonder that depression, anxiety and fear are rampant amongst the young and the old in this day and age? Choose your own sovereignty. Reach out to your neighbour. Connect with your community. Establish your own values, not based on centralized fear propaganda. Centralization has vested interests in conspiring to keep you separate and fearful. Melodramatic, perhaps, though there is enough evidence to see divide and conquer techniques being used by many centralist agencies. Divided we fall, together we stand. Cooperative community is a far better choice than centralized directives from hidden controllers.